If you have no data, you have no machine learning, you have no algorithms. So many of you know I have been a data science freelancer / consultant the last year. And that's given me the chance to meet a lot of different people with a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different businesses, and a lot of different fields. It's been really fun and really exhausting at the same time, but I've definitely learned a lot. So over the past year, I've had the opportunity to work with like 20 different businesses in, probably 20 different industries. And today I want to tell you a story about one of them. So I get a lot of inbound leads via LinkedIn and my website. And one day I got an inbound lead with a message on LinkedIn with a founder telling me, hey, I've heard that you do data science stuff. I have a data science problem. Would you be interested to talk more? And I said, yeah, sure. And so we ended up getting on a phone call and talking. And it turns out this founder is the founder of a wearable device company. So you think like Apple Watch, smart wearable devices, things like that. And we got talking and they're like, oh yeah, we want to make these algorithms so that our wearable device can basically count certain things that a human does throughout the day. And that can be, just going throughout the day. They can be during exercise, but basically we want to put some smart algorithms on our wearable device. And I said, okay, sure. I don't think that's no problem. We can do that. And we got talking a little bit more. Okay. And whenever I'm trying to talk to these clients, you have to think these things through because they're trying to evaluate you and they want to know, hey, how much is this project going to cost? And you know basically nothing about them and nothing about their project. So you ask probing questions to try to understand as much as you can in a little amount of time so you can give an accurate estimate. So I said, okay, well, do you have data for these algorithms or do we need to collect this data? And they assured me, oh no, we have data for these algorithms, no problem. We have data, we've been setting this up and we've collected a little bit of data. We want to collect more data, but we've collected a little bit of data. And I said, okay, great. And I gave them an estimate and a bid and they accepted it and we got started with the project. But here's where things get a little bit interesting. So when I started the project, I said, all right, send me over the data. And I got an email over with like a 20-line CSV. And I said, oh, okay. Did I miss part of the data? Oh no, that's our data. So they had recorded someone for like 30 seconds and wanted me to create a pretty complex algorithm out of those 30 seconds. And this is where we get into today's topic of what is not machine learning. So basically, whenever you're doing machine learning or any sort of algorithms, you have to have data behind it. You can't just like magically pull it out of a hat and be like, oh, well, the wind is blowing and the data you have. And so the answer is 4. Like it doesn't come out of nowhere. The only thing that machine learning really can do is rely on previous results and previous data to predict what will happen in the future. Now, of course, the future isn't the past, and so things can be a little bit different, and machine learning algorithms can accommodate that. But if you don't have a starting place of existing data, you don't have a starting place. And so I had to end up telling this client, oh, I'm so sorry. We can't actually do a machine learning algorithm if you only have one example of the data. It was like barely anything at all. In order to make this type of machine learning algorithm, we'd have to at least have, a dozen, if not 2 dozen, if not 100 runs of the similar data so that we can come up with an algorithm. And they were all mad at me like, oh, but you said you can make an algorithm and you clearly don't know what you're doing. And I said, well, we can do our best when we have, one row, we can come up with first principles, right? You don't need a data science project to explain gravity, for instance. We can rely on data when we know first principles behind it, when there's math and science behind it. But if we're trying to find a pattern that really doesn't exist, we don't know the pattern yet, we can't just pull it out of thin air. So that is not what machine learning is. You need to have data. And if you don't have data, you don't have a machine learning model. So that is my little soapbox for today, is if you have no data, you have no machine learning, you have no algorithms. So whenever you're talking to your boss, your peer, your coworker, a friend, and they're like, hey, I heard you know how to program. I heard you know data science. I heard that you know how to, do machine learning. I have a project for you. You should always say, okay, well, how much data have you collected? Because I can't even really do anything until we've started to collect some data. And you know what? Sometimes they don't know what data to collect, right? And that was the case with this client. They were like, well, can you help me know what data to collect? And that in itself is a service, is helping people recognize what data do they need to actually do something interesting with data science, because data science is such a hot topic, right? Everyone wants to be machine learning. Everyone wants to be a smart device. Everyone wants AI. but people don't know, the steps to go from a regular business to a smart business. They need help with knowing what steps to take. And that's a great opportunity for you to consult or freelance and help them say, okay, if you want to go from A to Z, we have to get to B first. And B is just collecting a lot of data and storing that data. So that is my story for today. You need data to do machine learning. You need data to do algorithms. And I hope this helps you in your data career. If you're just getting started with your data career, I have a 33-page PDF to help you get started, to help you learn the basics, and I have that in the show notes down below. Definitely please check that out. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It really helps the channel grow.